I feel like sometimes I don't, it's never been corroborated, but I feel like sometimes he would rather I wasn't in the business.
What?
I feel like that sometimes. Like,
That sounds strange to hear.
Well, what?
yeah, you're gonna ask if there was ever any issues with us? No, there was never any issues.
Right.
When we were younger, I usused to get in fights for him.
Yeah.
He's big bro, and I was the cat. They took his bike. I'd go get that shit back.
Yeah.
I pull up like, yo, y'all niggas got to see. Tone, you chill. Tone, you good? Yo, we cool with you. Tone, we ain't got no problem. All right, well, if you got a problem with me, then you can't have a problem with my man or my brother or my sister.
Nobody.
Yeah.
You can't. If we cool, then you got to be cool with everybody.
It's always weird when the older brother is jealous of the younger brother, ain't it? So that clip was from actually Tony and company, because I don't know the rest of the other two guys' name. Was from Tony Rock's podcast, The Green Room, and Ari Spears was on the show. But judging from the subject matter, you would think it was the other way around. You would think Tony was on Ari's show. And Aries asked Tony, how come I ain't seen you in none of Chris's movies? How come you and Chris don't work together a lot? You know? And you go watch the interview, I mean, it starts at like the 45-minute mark. You know, it's a really interesting topic, and I think that people have been wondering that for a long time. And to me, it seemed like, and Tony, I think Tony is right. I think Chris sometimes wished that his younger brother wasn't in the business. Even though Chris is more famous and more well known, I think that Chris is very jealous of Tony. Now, you might say, for what? I mean, look at Chris Rock. Chris Rock is a household name. His name, rings bells. He's been in all kind of movies, stand-up specials, all kind of stuff. Why would he be jealous of his younger brother? Well, look back at that clip that I played. You remember when he said, he's big bro, and I'm going to get, if people messing with him, I'm going to handle stuff for him. People steal his bike, I'm going to get it back as the younger brother. Now, you remember everybody hates Chris now. You remember how Chris was portrayed in that show. It was literally everybody hates Chris, and it seemed like everybody did, in fact, hate Chris. And Drew, which is, I'm guessing, supposed to be Tony, I'm guessing, is the younger, cooler, better with the girls. People like him. He didn't have to go take 16 buses to get to school in the morning. I wonder if that's really how it was. And Chris, from what Tony said, Chris is not the oldest. I think there's one brother older than them. He was a hoodlum. I think he went to prison for a long time, I think. But the fact that, and Tony said it in that interview, Tony been doing this for almost 30 years. Chris could throw him a bone every now and again. When you're just starting out, okay, fine. No, I ain't gonna be, you got to show me your hustle, show me your grind, show me what you can do. Perfectly understandable. Once you get to really about year 7, 8, 9, 10, I was like, all right, you really for real about this. This ain't just play. You ain't just following behind your big brother. You really about this. You really love this craft. I got to be honest. When I was younger, I didn't think too much of Tony Rock. Here, past couple years, he's a pretty solid comic. I got to give him his flowers. He is pretty solid, and he's been around a long time. I personally think, in this instance, art. Well, I guess life translated to art. Chris's life for the TV show, and to our point of view, the art is imitating life. Like, that's really probably Drew. Probably really was Tony, or Tony was Drew. You know what I mean? And Chris, he just don't like that. Even though Chris casts a big shadow, he just, it's just that sibling rivalry. This my territory. What you doing? I don't know. Maybe Tony stole. Maybe a girl liked Tony and didn't like Chris back in the day. He never forgave him for it. Family is weird, man.